Before dawn, the caldera breathes a heavy, misty sigh. Shadows retreat, and nocturnal eyes close in the pines. Giant silhouettes emerge from the rolling geothermal fog. Elk listen as the bison herd begins to stir. Swans drift quietly on the glass-like hot-sprung waters. The massive bison shake the morning frost from their coats. Above, a bald eagle catches the first hint of gray light. A moose wades near as a grizzly lumbers through the brush. The great bear pauses, sensing the valley's awakening pulse. Beneath the surface, cutthroat trout navigate the icy shallows. Beneath the surface, cutthroat trout navigate the icy shallows.
Hunger drives the grizzly toward the winding river's edge.
Not far away, a gray wolf patrols its vast territory. Bighorn sheep watch from above as the predator passes below. A beaver diligently repairs its dam in the cold stream. The jagged peaks slowly reveal themselves against the pale sky. The wolf moves with silent, calculated purpose through the timber. Bison calves huddle close to their mothers for warmth. Pronghorn graze carefully, always aware of the dark shapes beyond. A lone coyote trots along the forest edge, opportunistic and sharp. The dominant bulls exhale plumes of steam into the chill. The grizzly tears at a fallen log, searching for morning sustenance. A red fox pauses, listening to rustling beneath the pine needles. Elk bugles echo, a haunting soundtrack to the bear's feast. Massive claws dig effortlessly into the cold, damp earth. The bison herd marches onward, an unstoppable force of nature. Hooves break the fragile morning ice forming over mud puddles. A river otter slides playfully into the rushing current. A moose strips bark while the wolf pack gathers nearby. The wolves communicate with subtle shifts in posture and gaze. Together, the pack prepares for the long day ahead. By 8, the thick fog begins to lift from the basin.
An osprey dives, breaking the river's calm surface with precision.
Pronghorns sprint in the distance, fleeing a grizzly's casual approach. The bear barely registers the fleeing herd, focused on foraging. Bison settle into the rhythm of endless grazing. Thick winter coats protect the bison from the lingering cold. A yellow-bellied marmot cautiously emerges from its rocky den.
Bighorn sheep navigate steep ledges, avoiding the wolves below.
The alpha wolf locks eyes with the distant horizon. A silent command sends the pack moving in perfect unison. The wolves trot steadily, covering miles of rugged terrain. The grizzly finds a sunlit patch to rest momentarily. Elk graze warily, keeping the resting bear in their sights. Even at rest, the grizzly commands absolute respect. Its chest rises and falls with heavy, measured breaths. The morning advances, bringing a flat, muted light to Yellowstone.
Bison dominate the valley floor, a sea of dark fur.
A moose drinks peacefully, dwarfed by the bison herd behind. The ancient cycle of eating and walking continues endlessly. Life here is a testament to raw, enduring strength. As morning peaks, scavengers comb the geothermal graveyards. A coyote searches tirelessly among the dead lodgepole pines. Elk ignore the lone scavenger, sensing no immediate threat. Every scent tells a story of past survival and loss.
The coyote moves on, leaving only light tracks behind.
Deep within the basin, geysers erupt into the bright, overcast sky. The rising temperature slows the massive bison herds.
River otters pause their play to wash their sleek faces.
Bighorn sheep observe the valley's changing pace from high above.
Panting softly, the animals prepare for the midday lull. The flat, natural light of noon blankets the wilderness. Even the mighty grizzly seeks refuge in the shaded pines. Moose feed quietly as the great bear settles down. Heavy breaths replace the energetic foraging of morning. A fritillary butterfly rests near the slumbering giant.
Out on the plains, bison find relief in the dust. Rolling forcefully, they coat their thick fur in cooling earth. Pronghorn watch the chaotic dust clouds rise from the wallows.
A thick layer of dirt provides armor against biting insects. The vast, dusty plains shimmer slightly under the midday haze. The winding river becomes a sanctuary of stillness. River otters drape themselves lazily across fallen logs. Moose stand in the cooling water near resting swans. Deep below, cutthroat trout hold steady in the dark currents. The beaver abandons its work to rest in the shade. High on the rocky ridges, the wolf pack sleeps. Energy is conserved for the long afternoon ahead. Bighorn sheep safely navigate the cliffs while the predators rest. Paws twitch in silent dreams of the hunt. Their thick coats trap the heat, causing them to pant. Near the hot springs, the air grows dense and heavy. Bison stand motionless, chewing their cud in a trance. Roosevelt elk share the humid oasis in temporary peace. Turquoise waters bubble endlessly, indifferent to the resting giants. A swishing tail is the only sign of waking life. An eagle surveys the silent valley from a dead pine. Wings droop slightly to catch any passing cool breeze. Pronghorn rest far below the eagle's stoic gaze. Razor-sharp talons grip the rough bark securely. The ecosystem holds its breath, waiting for the cooling afternoon. As the afternoon light softens, the brush awakens. A cavernous yawn exposes incredibly powerful jaws. Moose retreat deeper as the bear reclaims the forest edge. The grizzly rises, shaking pine needles from its massive frame. Hunger returns, driving the giant back toward the river. The valley prepares for the vital hours of fading light. The alpha wolf stretches, shaking off the midday lethargy. Bighorn sheep take high ground as the wolves stir. Affectionate nuzzles reinforce the unbreakable bond of the pack. With renewed focus, the predators break into a steady trot. As the air cools, the great herds resume their endless march. Smaller residents frantically gather food before the impending cold. Elk stand watch as the valley floor transforms into a moving river. Cooling temperatures bring renewed energy to the youngest of the herd. Veteran bulls lead the migration toward fresh water and grazing. The grizzly enters the freezing stream, driven by afternoon hunger.
Cutthroat trout dart swiftly away from looming shadows.
Other giants feed cautiously while the bear hunts the shallows. Lightning-fast strikes break the surface, hoping for a catch. Unsuccessful, the great bear shakes off the freezing water. The wolf pack moves like ghosts through the fading tall grass. Scavengers scatter instantly at the approach of the apex predators. pronghorn freeze, watching the deadly procession move toward larger prey. Every step is calculated, minimizing noise on the dry earth. The alpha locks eyes on the formidable giants of the plains. To reach safe bedding grounds, the herd must cross the icy river. Beavers return to their lodges as the afternoon wanes. Elk watch from the shallows as the titans forge ahead. Calves stay tightly pressed against their mothers against the strong current. Reaching the far bank, they shed the freezing water immediately. Twilight descends, painting the steaming caldera in dusty orange and deep blues. As the light fails, the night shift begins to stir. Giants become mere silhouettes against the cooling, muted horizon. The grizzly retreats toward the deep timber as darkness approaches. Predators of the night open their eyes to a new world. The wolf pack surrounds a solitary bison, testing its resolve. A scrape of the hoof delivers a clear, violent warning. From above, the primal dance of life and death is observed. The alpha calculates the immense risk of attacking a healthy bull. A single bluff charge shatters the pack's confidence immediately. Accepting defeat, the wolves melt back into the dark timberline. An elk's haunting bugle pierces the absolute stillness of dusk. The ancient sound commands the attention of the entire valley. Grizzlies consume their final calories before the freezing night sets in. Every breath visible, signaling the drastic drop in temperature. As the air freezes, geothermal steam provides critical warmth. Swans anchor themselves in the slow currents for the freezing night. While some sleep, aquatic hunters take to the dark waters. Frost begins to quickly coat their thick, insulating fur once again. The red fox emerges to claim the frozen, shadowy landscape. The alpha separates, seeking the highest vantage point over the caldera. Small survivors hide deep within the rocks as predators pass above. The valley floor goes completely still under the darkening sky. Every step is precise on the treacherous, frost-covered stone. Reaching the summit, the alpha reclaims its frozen kingdom. Below, the caldera breathes fire into the freezing night. The alpha draws the freezing wilderness deep into its lungs.
The sleeping titans below hear the ancient, undeniable call. A solitary song of survival echoes across the cooling earth.
is Yellowstone.